What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fairway to Heaven, only on the All About the Birds Network. I am Phil Stifle, joined as always by Jason Sullivan. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you click, share, and like and comment in the comment sections. On Twitter, retweet if you're up on YouTube there watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button, thumbs up here. Just building a great network here at All About the Birds. So we're more than all about just the football and the Eagles. We're a little bit of everything. This is our fantasy golf and gambling golf show. So we're here. We're here to talk about this week's Zurich Classic. It's a weird, quirky event. It's almost like an exhibition. But real quick, before we dive into this week's event, gotta say, 47 years old. If you could tell me I could play golf at 47 years old, like Stuart Sink did last week, I mean, I'd be a super, super happy person, wouldn't you?
Dude, what domination. I mean, yeah, 100%. He absolutely dominated. I mean, wire to wire, old man Stewie. So, what's funny is
you called him old man Stewie?
Uncle Stewie, I don't know. Whatever you prefer. So, a couple weeks ago on the show, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, actually, I said, I always play Stuart Sink no matter what, every time he's on DraftKings. You know who I didn't play last week? Stuart Sink.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, just to think of a 47-year-old guy, and I know it's not a super long course where they played last week, at Hilton Head there, but the fact that he was able to go out there and shoot 63 on Thursday and Friday, I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are, as long as your game – that's what's so great about golf. When your game is clicking, and if you're smart enough how to adjust your game to the course, I mean, nothing will stop you.
You know what? He didn't even play that good over the weekend either. Like you said, He came out Thursday and Friday firing. I mean, he shot, what did he shoot, 8 under both days? He was absolutely on fire. And then Sunday, he was 1 under. So it's not like he really lit the world on fire. He just kind of did enough to put out the fires that everybody else was coming.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. I was lucky enough to get in when he was on after his Friday round. He was at minus 170 to win the event. And I'm like, you know what? He's just on fire right now. There's no way he's going to lose this event. So I was able to put a pretty significant bet on him at minus 170. I know it doesn't pay out a huge return, but it turned a nice profitable weekend for me. I don't know how your draft, I cashed in most of my DraftKings lineups last week and obviously had that bet there that paid off. But how was your overall week last week?
Not the best, but not the worst. I actually broke dead even on DraftKings, which I guess if you're not losing, you're winning on DraftKings. So that's good. Exactly. My bets were okay. So I didn't tell you this, but I actually hedged your Stuart Sink bet with Morikawa on Saturday. I was like, you know what? I just want to make sure that Morikawa does not beat Phil's bet. So I'm going to take Morikawa. I'm going to put some money on him just so you'd win. You didn't know that.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. So you took the loss for me is what you're saying.
Correct. I just wanted to make sure that nobody close to him would be able to catch him. So I bet all the close guys.
Okay, gotcha. So I want to say the one thing about fantasy golf, like we've talked about all the different theories behind it and the theories behind betting. We've been doing this 10 weeks now, and it's weird because last week was the epitome of what fantasy golf is compared to fantasy football or fantasy basketball. 1 day events. Fantasy golf is 4 days. And at the end of Friday's event, my biggest buy-in was a $5, their big prize. I think it was like a $50,000 first place prize. And that was their biggest $5 tournament. And at the end of Friday, I was in the top 2,000 out of like 100,000 people. And my lineup just kept trending up, 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 up. I'm like, this is great. Halfway through the round on Saturday, I was in the top 1,500. And then by the time we went to the back 9 on Sunday, I was outside the top 20,000. And that's just the ebbs and flows of fantasy golf. It'll drive you insane. In football, you're just the 1 o'clock games and the 4 o'clock games. That's all you have to, maneuver through. In golf, you have to maneuver through 4 days. And I ended up cashing in the event. But still, it's definitely not for the faint at heart if you're one of those people like me that checks your lineup 20 times a day.
Well, and there's also there's 2 sweats. There's the cut sweat on Friday night. Yep. So you got to make sure all you guys make through the cut. So you're nervous all day on Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday they call it moving day for a reason. Everything crazy happens on Saturday usually. And then Sunday's the end of the tournament. So like you said, you're getting 4 days of entertainment. I mean, you could play a $1 tournament and get 4 days of entertainment out of it.
Absolutely. It's definitely except for our lineup, which still stinks every single week. And I'll tell you, I almost had my first perfect weekend where all my lineups were 6 for 6. So that's the goal. You want all your guys to make the cut. All the lineups I chose were perfect making the cut, except for our lineup and Doc Redman, who you chose and added to the end of our lineup.
I was gonna say, do you want to tell
had a
everybody who
feeling.
liked us?
Yeah.
I should have had a feeling about Stewie Sink instead. That would have been a lot better for our lineup.
Well, do you know what Stewart Sink was priced at last week?
6,700, I think.
Yeah, it was in the upper
Which is
sixes.
stupid. Okay, so Redmond was 6,800, so we could have easily went down 100,
Yeah.
and that would have been. We probably would have won a bunch of money. But
Yeah, we would have won a lot of money.
That's what's frustrating. We talked about what's fun about golf. That's what's frustrating about golf. You could be so close yet so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So this week it's totally different. All the rules we've been talking about, throw them out the window. We're starting all over again this week. The Zurich Classic down there at the the TPC Louisiana. Another Pete Dye course. It seems like we've been playing a lot of Pete Dye courses lately. It's about 7,400 yard par 72 course. But what's different this year? It's a team format. Okay, so you've got the top 80 golfers, and then they pick a teammate to go. On Thursday and Saturday, it's best ball. So it's like a scramble. If anybody's ever played a scramble, everybody tees off, and then you go play from the best spot, and you all hit from there. So it's just the best ball from each spot that you play. And Friday and Sunday, that's where it gets a little tougher, a little strategy. Alternate tee shots, and it's alternate ball. So I would tee off on the first hole. Jason would take the second shot. On the second hole, Jason would tee off. I would take the second shot. So there's a lot of strategy in play on Friday and Sunday, which is actually makes it a little tougher, but also I like the strategy because then you kind of got to break down the course, see whose tee shot, fits each hole and stuff like that. They didn't play the event last year. They've only been doing the team format for 4 years, but your defending champions from 2019 are John Rombo and Ryan Palmer. They're in it again this week, so I mean, have you looked into what we're looking at this week for this course?
Yeah, like you said, though, it's kind of a bit of a crapshoot. I feel like you want guys that complement each other. Like Palmer and Rom, their games are very similar, which is good. But at the same time, it's like you kind of want guys. Let me start over again. There's different strategies for different days. Like you said, the scramble round, it's kind of a crapshoot, right? You don't know, where you're going to be playing from. You don't know what skill set it's going to be, favoring or whatever like that. But then the alternate shot, you're going to want guys that are good with their irons because, if the first guy tees off, the second guy's going to be the iron player. So it's tricky. I feel like stats for me, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like stats kind of go out the window this week. It's more of feel, have they played together before? Because I think this is an event where let's use Cantlay and Schauffele, for example. They're the number one team. They're the highest priced team. I don't have a lot of faith in them though this week. I feel like guys that are better friends like Rom and Palmer or, some of these other guys like Hearn and Seamus Power, like some of these guys that Kisner and Brown, they're buddies off the course, which I think really helps in this event because I think you kind of need a little bit of back and forth and you can really help each other out. You can strategize too. So it's a tricky week. Stats go out the window for me though.
Yeah, I've read. I mean, I tried to read as much as I could. And everything I read, everything I heard, stats are out the window. I mean, the course isn't entirely hard or difficult. No. Even if you miss the fairway, you could still get the green. There's not a lot of trees along the fairway. There's a little bit of water and bunkers, but they don't really come into play. Putting, good putters do tend to do well here, I've read. But again, it's a total crapshoot. And even though it's a 7,400 yard course, I mean, the par fives are all 580 and below. So every grouping, whether you're a long hitter or not, is getting the par fives, in 2 strokes, or at least has a chance to. So I think that all goes out the window. I did read one interesting thing when building your lineups and all. This is the week, and I've talked about it before on the show, that sometimes if a player's priced low on DraftKings but has really good odds to win, sometimes like the odds and the prices don't match up. And I did read that's really important to look at that because sometimes you can read into the odds a lot more on an event like this than other events.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me when I was looking at some of these teams is why are some of these guys partners? Are they buddies off the course? Did they just show up and say, give me a partner? It's like some of them make sense, right? And then other
some
ones
of that was actually the case. Some of it was some of the guys picked their partners. Some of them were just like, give me a guy. It literally is that way. Could you imagine showing up to be a partner with somebody and never played a round of golf with this guy before in your life?
Exactly. I think this is a week, another thing, just in terms of building lineups, I feel like this is a week where I'm not going to go super high. I think that Rom and Palmer are the best team in this tournament, but I don't know if I can get to it because some of these lineups, when you start getting into the low 7Ks and 6Ks, it's a crapshoot. I mean, you have no idea who's going to make it. You obviously want same rules apply. You want 6 of 6 through the cut, so it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this here, and again, the great players and the great teams. John Rahm's a great player. Ryan Palmer's a step down, but these top two teams here, Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay, that's a top tier team right there. Teams like that don't seem to do very well from what I've heard. From what I've read, they do miss the cut, like you said, occasionally. But you look at this, and by the way, for everybody, the other rule I didn't throw out there is you can't pick both teammates. So it's only one player. So if we take Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay, you can't take Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. So that's that. But some of these prices, I mean, would you have ever thought of having to put, like, if you wanted Morikawa, that means you're spending 11.3 on Matt Wolff.
Right.
Some of these pricing, it's out of control because you get one really great player with an okay secondary player, and even not that, you got Billy Horschel and Sam Burns at 10.5. I mean, the pricing on here is this one is the one that actually drove me out of control. Chris Kirk and Brendan Todd at 10,100. And I actually liked, when I was just reading the pairings, I really liked that pairing. And then I saw the price and I'm like, we've talked about the word sticker shock before on this show. There is no such thing as that. That's the biggest sticker shock in the world. Chris Kirk and Brendan Todd at 10,100.
100%. I 100% agree with you. I think you brought up a really good point, though. You're going to want guys that can putt. And I think I want to look for guys that can putt, and I want to look for pairings where the guys are similar. And actually, I mean, I wouldn't pay 10-1 for them, but Chris Kirk and Todd have similar kind of games. They're both good iron players. They're both, if they putt, which is a crapshoot for both of them, they're really good. They're a really good team. But I think a lot of these guys like Homa and Gooch are like that. Hatton and Willett are kind of like that in a way. Horschel and Burns are like that in a little. You want guys that have similar style games because they're going to be used to playing the shots that they're going to be faced with, especially the alternate shot.
And another thing to think about when you're building your lineups, and also I think this week's a week where live betting matchups is going to be the fun way to go. If Mike, you're watching, pay attention to the matchups each day, like the teams that are going up against each other on Thursday, then again on Friday. Pay attention to the weather this week. Because Friday afternoon, so the second half of tee times on Friday, stay away from those bets because the weather's going to be atrocious Friday afternoon into Saturday morning. So the early tee times on Saturday and the Friday afternoon tee times, I'm away. I'm not touching those on betting. But the early Friday tee times, I'm going to be looking at all the matchups and trying to find those guys that I could bet just on the single round there. So it's something to look into. I mean, I was trying to figure out stats to read on, or we talk so much about shots gained, this or that, putting, approach maybe here. I've never even heard of it or talked about this stat. The second most important stat that I found is opportunities gained. I don't even know what that stat means.
That's
never even heard that one used.
That's basically giving yourself a chance to make birdie. So
why not just worry about birdies are better?
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a subcategory of birdies are better. You're basically giving yourself a chance to make birdie or eagle, basically with the shot. So I don't think stats, you can put too much into stats. I do have one more little gambling tidbit. Michael liked this one. So they played the team event 3 times. 2 of the 3 events were won by the team that was leading going into Sunday. So if they're leading after Saturday, you want to put your money on that team. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, I spend most of my betting on FanDuel, not on DraftKings, which is where we do our other things. But I'm looking at the match bettings for Thursday. You've got, I'm just gonna throw out a couple of them. You got Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, who I love in this event. Pricing, they're 11,100 on DraftKings. It's insane to pay that for them. But you got them against Morikawa and Matt Wolff, and that's one where I'm looking at Cam Smith and Leishman on Thursday to get over Morikawa and Wolff because Wolff has been so bad this week. So if there's one guy on a team that's been really bad, you might want to look to go. You might want to bet against them.
That's the exact point that I think is so important right here. It's especially when these teams are even. A lot of these teams, like you said, you see one really good golfer on the team. Well, if the other one is hot garbage, how are you going to play that team? I think the biggest example of that is Charlie Hoffman is awesome at this event, but who is he paired with again? He's paired with
Watney.
Watney. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Watney has missed like 10 cuts in a row.
He has.
So it's wild.
They're only 8,400 though.
Right.
So now that might be where that team, the Watney Hoffman team, is going to be really good on Thursday and Saturday when it's best ball, where Hoffman can carry the team. And on Thursday, match up against Alec Noren and Norlander. They're both teams are at minus 112. I'm looking at that as a bet on Thursday, but I wouldn't be making that bet on Friday.
I think it's still scary though. Watney hasn't made a cut in this calendar year.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the point. I get Carly's good.
It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I was looking at. I had another name written down here, but now I can't find it. Oh, here. So here's another matchup that I really like on Thursday. So you got Castro and Tringali. I know we've played Tringali a lot, but they're going up against Graham McDowell and Matt Wallace. Okay, Matt Wallace and Graham McDowell are only 8,600 on DraftKings. So sneaky upside with that team in general, depending on who their matchup is. Matt Wallace has played really good golf, and Graham McDowell, this is kind of something that's like right along the Ryder Cup, path. And Graham McDowell is a great Ryder Cup player. So that's a team that I really like this week, at least in the matchup, categories there.
Well, and if Graham McDowell putts, that's the key to that team. If he can putt well, I think that team's going to be really good. I agree with that point, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's another one that I just love the matchup. I don't know if I'll bet it or not. Might not play either teams and all, but Tony Finau and Cameron Champ on Thursday against Bubba Watson and Scotty Scheffler. Can you imagine Bubba Watson and Scotty Scheffler on a course that there's no real they could just go out there and grip it and rip it and not worry about getting into trouble.
Well, and Champ and Finau do that too. I mean,
exactly. That's why there's so much intrigue there. And Finau and Champ are minus 118. Watson and Scheffler's minus 108. I really can't figure out who I would bet there, but both those teams are going to be so much fun to watch on Thursday.
Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't it be so Finau-like to come out and win this tournament too? Just to have this be his first win, doesn't even really count because it's a team event. But
yeah, absolutely.
I can see that.
All right. So, we were talking about changing up how we build lineups here, and competing against each other. Do you want to compete against each other? Or you want to wait till next week to do that? And just this week, let's try to build for everybody watching a solid lineup here, since it's a different kind of a course and tournament.
Yeah, let's do it together this week, and then we'll compete against each other next week, starting next week. You want to go into some of the teams that we like first, or do you want to just
let's keep. So I've already brought up a couple teams there, betting wise and stuff like that. So what are some of the other names? Because there are 3 or 4 other teams here that I've marked off that I like. So
I'm going to start all my lineups with one of 2 of these teams. Either Horschel and Burns at 10-5, which is a little bit of sticker shock, like you said. But Horschel has won this event as an individual and as a team. So I like him a lot. He's been playing really well. They're both kind of streaky, but they're both really good putters. And they're both really good putters on Bermuda greens, which is huge. So I love that team this week. I think they're a good combination. Like, it's weird because on paper, like you said, 10-5 seems like a lot, but I don't know. I feel like this is a team that these guys are very similar in the way they play. So I like them a lot. And then my other one, which I've heard a lot of people talking bad about, but I'm sticking with it, 9,700, Hovland and Christopher Ventura. I think their games are similar. Hovland's obviously a really good player. I think he's like 15th in the world. Ventura is a very, very poor man's Hovland, but their games are similar. Good birdie or better. Ventura is actually ahead of Hovland birdie or better in this field. Ventura is 3rd in putting as well and good on par 5. So I feel like they do the same thing similar. So I'm definitely starting my lineup with one of those 2 teams.
Okay. I thought so. I had Horschel and Burns down too. Love that matchup and all, and that team there. I thought you were going to go with my second one, which was Kevin Kistner and Scott Brown.
I like that one too.
The duo, they're only 8,700 on DraftKings, which is a steal for somebody that this team lost in the playoffs in 2017. So they've made a deep run in this event, and they took 5th place in 2019. If Kevin Kisner, his putter is as hot as it's been, I mean, I think that's a team that, at 8,700, again, 8,700 is your mid-price range teams. But I think that's a really solid, team right there. And another one, it's higher than your Horschel and Burns team. Again, I actually think this team's going to have a really high ownership percentage. So maybe it's one you stay away from a little bit. But Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, 11,100.
I like that one too. Their games are similar as well. Obviously, Cam Smith's a lot younger and does everything just a little bit better than
2017 with Blix or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I didn't write down who, but one of them did.
Right.
Whatever.
I think it was Cam Smith. Yeah, I don't mind that team at all. I like that team a lot too. I just worry about paying that price, I think, for that team. Yeah. That's my only fear.
Well, price-wise, you got so many high-costing teams, it did pull one team. It's very low, 6,500. We're not going through our normal order here. Third, they placed third in 2017 and 13th in 2019. Kevin Tway and Kelly Craft. Don't know who they are. Never bet them ever, but they've got good track record at this event. Any thoughts there?
So Kevin Tway, I don't think Kelly Craft might not either, but Kevin Tway doesn't have a PGA Tour card anymore. So that team that didn't even come on my radar. But if they have good course history here,
13th. So
that's not bad. No. I like at 6,700, so a little bit more than that. Seamus Power and David Hearn. They've played this event twice together, T5 and T10. And Hearn, if you look at Hearn's course history between the team event and the individual event, he may have the best course history of anybody at this course. So I like that. I do want to touch real quick too. I was just thinking about this. You said Kisner and Brown. Two things about that team I love. The putting, like you said, they're best friends off the course too. So they've done really well here. They play together. They know each other well. They can go off each other. So I like them a lot. My only fear, absolutely only fear, is that I think they might be the highest ownership team this week.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be the Cam Smith Leishman, but maybe not because of the price tag on Cam Smith and Leishman. That they might not be as high as that. What else do you got? What other teams? I've got 10 more teams down here that I like, but I want to hear what you got here.
So I like Party Marty Laird and Nick Taylor. I like that team at 6,300. I actually think I like more sleeper teams this week than high price teams. They were ninth here last time they played, so in 2019. Laird was T7 the year before that. I don't know who his partner was that year, but Laird's been in good form. They played this event 4 times. This will be the 4th time they've played together at this event. So I like that a lot, and I feel like that's going to go low owned for sure because nobody likes either one of those guys. Tringali and Castro, like you mentioned, I don't hate that one. Kisner and Brown probably is my last one that I like, but I actually don't mind Troy Merritt and Robert Streb either at 6,700. They've played really good here too. So I feel like if you're playing under 7,000, which you almost have to play at least one team, you got to look at.
Have to play 2, in my opinion. Well, 2 in that 7. We'll go 73 and below. Yeah, you're going to have to play at least 2. So I got a couple more cheap ones for you.
Yeah.
7,100. Peter Uihlein and Ricky Werenski. Uihlein, most people don't know him. He's won on the Korn Ferry Tour. He finished really well at I think it was the Punta Cana Classic on the PGA Tour. Mm-hmm. And Werenski's he's hit or miss. He's missed some cuts, but in the weaker fields. And I know we're talking about how top heavy this tournament is, but overall, if you look at it, it's a pretty weak field. Yeah. And he always tends to do well in the weak fields. So I got them. I've also got Bryce Garnett and Stallup at 6,800, I think they are. Bryce Garrett did really well last week. Let me try to pull him up here. There he is. Garrett is
Bryce Garnett.
Scott.
Okay, he's Scott Stallings. Okay, Stallings is his partner.
Sorry, I can't
Bryce
read my
Garnett
sometimes.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when I played Bryce Garnett and you said who?
Yeah, and then he did really well last week. He didn't do well the week you picked him,
right?
But he
exactly.
did really good last week and all.
Exactly.
So at 6,800, there was one there that I liked. And let's see here. Where's my search button here? The Lanto Griffin team. I don't remember what the price is. They're $9,000. Maybe I don't like them as much. And Steve Don. They're both guys that play really well lately. But again, these guys, Griffin and Don Damon, at $9,000, I don't think I could pull the trigger there. Maybe that's why I stopped.
I feel like if they were 8,000, I feel like I'd be all over it. 9,000, that's a little steep.
Again, these prices are out of control. Like you look at the team like Brendan Gracie and Harold Varner III. That's 2 good guys that are playing well, that are on fire. But 9,600. Brendan Steele and Keegan Bradley, 9,300. These are just price tags I can't get around.
It's tough. It definitely is tough this week.
All right. Well, let's do
this.
Yeah. Obviously, we both. I don't know where you want to start with, but we both agree that Horschel and Burns are our favorites, right?
Yeah, let's go with it.
Do you want to go with that?
Yeah.
All right. So 10-5. That knocks us down.
Rather than
right away.
So you know how we pick. We go through and we pick every other one. You want to just pick them all together?
Yeah, let's just
kind of agree.
Each team that we're picking. So that knocked us down right away to 7,900. So
we're gonna have to go low.
Gotta find a cheap team right off the bat.
I'm telling you, Hearn and Power are the sleeper team of the week this week. Let's go then.
Right. Hearn,
if you're okay with it.
Sure. Ooh, I'm sorry.
It's H-E-A.
H-E. There we go. There we go. Sure. All right, I could go with that. That puts us back.
Oh,
up to 80.
he's partners with Kuchar. I thought he was partners. Oh,
No,
Suture,
Suture.
not Kuchar. Suture. I thought he
Suture.
was Seamus Power.
Oh, same. He withdrew because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
So Suture is his replacement that was given to him.
That's fine.
Do you want to bail on that or no? You like that still?
You want to bail on that?
You were really high on it because of one player.
Well, I was high on Power being in there, so I didn't know that he had COVID.
Let's bail on that. Let's go with my sleeper team, the Kevin Tway and Kelly Craft guy.
Do it.
Again, two guys we don't know, but again, huge success here.
Listen, Kevin Tway hits the ball a mile. That's all I got for you.
All right. Well, that's good. On a short course, he's going to be – there's some drivable par fours here. All right, we're at 82.5 now. Still need another – see, again, we picked somebody at 10.5, and now we need like multiple 7K guys here.
Should we go – do you want to go Kuchar and Brown for safety? Oh, not Kuchar.
I was like, Kuchar's not in this fat field. Who?
Brown.
Brown and Kevin Kisner?
Yeah. This is a really great segment. Yeah.
We're bombing this show here tonight.
This is a really great segment.
Yeah, great segment. Great job tonight. All right, we're gonna go with there. All right, let's see here. We still need cheap options. We're at 8,100 here. Let's go down this board here to the 8Ks and upper sevens here. What we got? We got Matt Jones. I don't even know who JJ Spawn is. Russell Knox and Brandon Stewart. Or Brian Stewart. Somehow I know him, but Russell Knox is a good player. I don't know. I'm looking at these names. McNeely and Brand. Again, I don't know. Tringali and Castro. We're already back up to.
Go down a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go. What about Neesmith and Seifert?
I was just going to say. I actually have their names circled on my list here.
Yeah. I think they fit well together, and they're both in good form, so I like that.
So do we go with Neesmith or do we go with Seifert? Which one do you prefer?
Neesmith.
See, that's the thing. It doesn't even matter. All right, so we got 2 spots left, 8,400. Let's see here.
All right, you pick one, I'll pick one.
Oh, great. So I'm just going to go with like 11,100 or something like that. Just
I'm going to have to not pick one.
Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to take a chance, even though he's been playing god-awful. It doesn't really hurt you too much, but we're going with the Hoff, Charlie Hoffman and Watney.
The Hoff is good.
The Hoff is great, and I think he can carry that team.
His partner blows. All right.
Well, maybe a little Hoff rubs off on him. Leaves you with 8,400, which puts you, Pat Perez and Kokrak.
All right. I'm going to go. Let's go with. Who do you like better out of Gim and Suh or Clark and EVR?
Well, I didn't have anything on Clark and EVR written down. I do have. You said
Gim Reaper?
Sue and Gim. I have them written down here. I just don't have anything.
All right, let's do it.
Written down next to their name. So.
All right, let's go Gim. We'll go Gim.
Yeah, we'll go Gim, not Sue.
Justin.
Gim. So I'm entering this one into my free roll, the HBO Max free roll. I'm not even putting a quarter on this one. Look, guys, again, like we said at the beginning of the show, this isn't the week to be going crazy with lineups.
Right.
I put 3, 5, 7 lineups out there a week. Not doing it this week. I'm sticking to 2 or 3 lineups, cheaper entries. And again, betting wise, I'm not throwing 3 or 4 outright winner bets. I might throw one outright winner bet on this matchup, but I'm going to be paying attention each day to the matchups and betting the live matchups each round.
So I threw a lot of bets out this week, but I agree with you 100% on the DFS. DFS, I usually play like between 10 and 14 lineups a week. I'm playing 2 this week. I'm keeping it at 2. I'm picking the 2 that I like the best. Betting, I might go a little bit more crazy just because I need some sort of excitement in my life. So
that doesn't say. Does your wife know that you have that problem?
No. Don't tell her, please.
Anyway, so then what kind of bets do you have so far written down?
So a lot of them are the same
your bets, but some of your favorite bets.
So I'll give you 5. So I have 2 of them are the same. So I have Horschel and Burns. I have them top 5. It was plus 500. I also have them to win outright, which was plus 2,500. I have the same exact bet with Hatton and Willett, top 5 at plus 500 and to win at plus 2,500. And then I put also Ventura and Hovland top 5 at plus 750.
Okay.
Those are my 5 bets.
Okay, that's cool. That's good. I love the horse show. I mean, I really do think that they have a really good chance to win the event. And the Willett Hatton thing, I see it, especially if the bad weather carries any longer. And I'm going up and down the list here, looking at the odds.
I'm banking that the Hatton bet. I'm 100% banking on Hatton playing well in that bet.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, right now, FanDuel's got the Horschel Burns at plus 2,000 to win. I still do like that. And I like the Kirk and Todd to win at plus 2,000 as well. I don't know. Let me get to the finishing position odds here, top 5s. Yeah, I mean, I really, for some reason, I just keep going back to, just because I think it's going to be fun, is the Bubba Watson, Scotty Scheffler team. You know, I just want them to do well so badly.
If they're in it all weekend, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. The Horschel Burns, we love the Horschel Burns so much, and they're plus 2,000 on FanDuel, plus 2,500 on DraftKings to win it. They're plus 2,900 to be leader after first round. It kind of jumps out at me as something to bet on there, because again, it's going to be the easiest. Sunday afternoon is going to be easy, so anybody in the final 4 to 6 groupings on Sunday will have easy weather, and Thursday is going to be the best weather. So I kind of like that there. But yeah, I haven't actually placed any bets actually yet. I'm kind of still waiting to let it marinate a little bit more because honestly, I have no clue what I'm doing this week. This is a total crapshoot this week.
Yeah. Don't put a lot into it. I feel like don't put a lot of your bankroll in this week and bet who's ever winning after Saturday. Bet that team. That's my advice.
Bet whoever's winning after Saturday.
Yeah,
go for it, Mike.
Win.
Make sure
do it, Mikey.
Yeah, do it. Whoever's winning on Saturday.
Do it with your money, not mine.
Yeah, your money, not mine. Yeah. If I lose everything, you're buying not just the first beers. You're buying like the first 5 rounds in.
That's fine. I'll buy whatever I need to buy.
Yeah, there you go.
Same goes for you. If I lose all my money, you got to cover me. So
Mike's spending the entire bankroll on the Saturday one. Good roll. Way to be confident. I love it.
Mike's going to mortgage his house against it. Let's see what happens.
It's like his 4th mortgage on his house because of bets like that.
Fine.
So
it's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, anyway, again, this week we were planning on this being a shorter episode. There's not a lot to dive into this week. Again, it's a gimmick this week. I do want to know, do you enjoy this kind of an event?
I like watching it. I hate it for DraftKings purposes, if that makes any sense.
It does.
The match play was the same way. It's like it was a total crapshoot. Nobody had any success, but it was fun to watch. So
yeah, I think there's a place for it. I think they just need to get, if you take the DraftKings aspect out of it and the betting aspect out of it, it's fun, and I think it's a place for it. And heck, for as gimmicky as it is, there's still a huge multi-million-dollar first place prize on the line. So these guys want to win it and all. I just don't know.
It's still FedEx Cup points too.
This thing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's still FedEx Cup points too. The winner, they get the same amount of FedEx Cup points. So it's a normal event. Just
this
for them,
event would be good in October or November, or after the major season is over. Like what are we 3-4 weeks away from the PGA Championship? I don't want to worry about these gimmicky kind of courses and tournaments and all. I don't want the match play or this or do this like around the time when the Ryder Cup happens and stuff. When the main season's kind of worn down and we're just having some golf fun. So that's my opinion on it. I think it's a good theory, just bad placement and timing on the tournament.
Well, and I think it shows in who's playing in it. I think your point's 100% right. I mean, you see really, besides Rahm, none of the big names are playing in this tournament.
And I'm pretty sure Rahm's only playing because he's defending his title.
Right, and him and Palmer love each other, so they'll do anything they can to play together.
And you got the Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay team, which is obviously a stud team. But outside of that, there's not too many top 10 players in the world golf rankings playing this event. So it's kind of one of those things where I think that everybody's focused on, what do we got? We got Byron Nelson coming up in a few weeks. We got the PGA Championship coming up in a couple of weeks. Next week we've got what is Valspar is next week. Yep. You got some big events coming up. The players aren't focused on this, and maybe that's also why the few big names that are in it do tend to miss the cut because they're just out there having fun. So
it's a paycheck.
It's a paycheck. That is for sure. But But that's all I've got for this show.
Yeah.
A quick little 36, 37-minute show here. Do you got anything else to do or to mention?
No, I think that's it. Just go with your gut feeling this week. Don't go crazy. Don't get too much into stats. Yeah, have fun and go with your gut feeling.
Honestly, I won more money on DraftKings for golf last year before I did all this massive amount of research that I'm doing this year. So, I'm just going to go with my gut and have some fun, and I'm probably going to hit my biggest lineups this week.
There you go. Boom, let's do it.
Exactly. Boom. Real quick, I should have asked you this off the air, but I'm going to ask you live on the air. Are we confirmed for our guest for next week?
Yes, we are confirmed.
All right. So who do we have coming on next week?
I think we should do an announcement. Maybe we'll do an announcement on Twitter.
All right. So stay tuned to Twitter. So we're going to tease it. We have a guest coming on next week. Should have talked about this off the air, but we're totally unprepared and unprofessional on Fairway to Heaven here. But anyway, again, Fairway to Heaven on the All About the Birds Network. That is Jason Sullivan. I am Phil Stifle. You can follow us on Twitter, Beard and Knowledge, JSully2121, AAT Birds, Fairway, the number 2, Heaven _. It's where we put all our lineups and all our picks on there. Got a great show on All About the Birds coming up tomorrow night, 9:15 right here on All About the Birds networks. Make sure you're following, subscribing, sharing out everything. Help us continue to grow this network into what it can become. And on that, I say everybody have a great night.
Win some money. Let's go.
Let's make some money.
Support for All About the Birds is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. We have an exclusive offer for our listeners. 20% off plus free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. Manscaped hooked us up with a bunch of tools and formulations from their Perfect Package 3.0 kit, including the Lawnmower 3.0, which comes with an LED light for a more precise shave and is waterproof to make your shower shave clean and easy. The Perfect Package also includes a deodorant for your undercarriage to prevent odors and chafing, a reviving lotion, a pair of boxers and a t-shirt, not to mention a travel bag to store all your grooming goodies. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code AATBirds. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.